we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What up, though?
What's good with it, bro?
Man.
Watch that House of
You know,
Dragons.
I did. I did, bro. And listen. You know what this is the funny thing that's about House of Dragons is I'm completely blown away, probably now more than ever. Because even though, it's like social media was around for
Hmm.
Game of Thrones, but I don't think that the usage and popularity of it, like TikTok and things like that, are what they are today. But I think that what I like is how unserious you can take some black creators because they are hilarious. I saw listen, spoiler alerts if you haven't already seen it, right?
Oh yeah.
But
Hold on. Let me put the banner. Let
yeah.
me
Put
put
it on up there. Put it on up there.
spoiler alert. Boom. We live.
Listen,
Go ahead.
okay. I laughed because when Aemon was what he got, you saw him storming out like he was all pissed off or whatever, right? He was like, "Oh, I'm about to go hop on my dragon. We about to set it off. Who has got this dragon flying all around the way or whatever, right?" And somebody on TikTok put a reel where once he saw the queen and the other dragons, he was like, leaving somebody, no, turn around, reverse. He was like, somebody put it on us about, oh no, put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. I fell out laughing when I saw it too, though, man. Say,
Oh,
oh no, put it in reverse, Terry.
you should have
But
sent me that one, bro.
oh my gosh, it's hilarious, bro. It's absolutely hilarious, though, man. But
Nah, yeah.
I'm listening. They so far on this season, no misses so far. Every single episode has been one. They had the one where I was kind of like how do you follow up the killing the baby, right? But
Yeah.
I think that so far it's been hidden.
Nah, I absolutely love this season, bro. We got to get another season, bro. And the thing is, it's so good. I started watching Game of Thrones again, and like I told you, they done spoiled so much stuff in Game of Thrones in this, like meaning that they keep talking about who wins this particular battle because
Yeah.
I didn't know, and so I'm just hearing several people just constantly spouting out the answer, and I'm just like mouth just dropping, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yo, but I think that it is so now it does make me kind of like upset that they didn't do a Jon Snow side story though, man. Like I still need that.
Yeah, they said they couldn't come up with a good story. Uh, and yeah, I see what you mean because rewatching it, I'm seeing Jon Snow's arc, and I'm just like, dang, bro, it would be nice to see. I would love to see a after the Game of Thrones, like going forward. You know what I'm saying? Almost making this
Yes.
into like that Star Wars franchise. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
it's just sad that they couldn't, because this wasn't the first story that they were talking about doing right after Game of Thrones. There was an actual another version of Game of Thrones that they were doing. It was another prequel, but it wasn't the Targaryens. It was somebody else's story. They actually shot a pilot and everything, and then they must have watched it. Was like, nah, and scrapped it, and then did the House of Dragon.
Well, I think that the one thing that is interesting though, man, is because I'm not one that I didn't necessarily go through and like I don't look at the books. You know what I'm saying? Like same with Star Wars, right? I'm watching it surely for the entertainment, right? And
Hmm.
so I think that one of the things that I think that's pretty cool is that you got people who are into it like that who go through on TikTok and they'll go through and they'll explain some of the backstories, right? So one of the things that I had to find out was the backstory of the boy, the older guy with the blonde hair, right?
Hmm.
The older guy, right? And so there was a point on this one where they were just like he was like, oh yeah, my mom basically told me that wasn't no different from her with them two kids, basically though. And so some girl was like, all right, let me explain to y'all what he's talking about. He was basically like, She said his mom was sisters with who is Amon's no. What's the queen's name? Uh,
Rhaenyra.
uh yeah, so her mom and Rhaenyra's mom were apparently sisters basically though, right? And so, but they said there's something about she used to be kind of out there early, right? You know what I'm saying? Like early, she was out there in them streets, basically, though. And so ultimately, they said that she wound up. There's a story in the book about how she kind of got disbanded or got exiled from everybody else because they were saying that she was so out there in the streets, she was heavy in them brothels like that, right? That there was this point where her and somebody else had got into this beef or whatever, and as part of the punishment, basically, he wound up basically did hand one-on-one combat with one of her friends because he apparently slept with she apparently slept with a couple of people or whatever, laughed it off like it was funny, tried to embarrass him. So he kills his friends or whatever. And so he might, that's why you said that when you heard him say, oh, yeah, my mama would tell me that people would pay good money to sleep with a a woman with white hair and purple eyes. Basically, it was because his mom was the one that they was talking about. His mom is actually a sister of the current queen or something like that. Either way, but a long story short, though, I think that one of the things that was crazy is that she ends up going to like some other land ethos or something like that, though, man. And because she was heavy on the brothel scene, she winds up creating her own little upscale luxury, you know what I'm saying, house like that. And that was basically it. But everybody else in the immediate Targaryen family just cut her loose and everything like that. But that I think that it's pretty cool that, you know what I'm saying, even though I'm not interested in that level, it's still cool that the information is out there though. Bro. I
But it's
thought
because
this was actually
there's a book about this. So yeah, there's a book that goes with it. So of course the book is going to be more detailed. For instance, and but I'll tell you about it after I start the music. Let me do that.
let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, click on the bell, get the heads up whenever your boys and Miss doing their thing. It's Kennedy.
Yeah, so like I was saying in the book, right? The scene of the kid getting all jabbed up like that. So what it is there's in the book there's three kids, and it was Allison in the room and the girl that was there. And you know that girl's a seer, so she kind of has already seen this stuff. So when Blood and Cheese come in there, they're asking both of the women, like, okay, you got the two twins, and then you got the other kid. You choose between which one of the twins you want to kill. And so they select one, grab the other one, jab him on up, and then tell the kid that they left, like, look, they chose you to die. I just want you to know that, and then rolled out. So that's how they did it in the book, right? But how we got it presented on the screen was still, crazy.
Yeah, that would have been something, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, I'm gonna send you the TikTok to put it in reverse is hilarious, bro. But I like though, man. I thought that like with what's the girl Ray Nice when she died and people had the homegrown flyers out for it though, man. The whole program. Like I think that people are quick with it though, bro. And I don't remember it being like that for Game of Thrones though, bro.
It
And maybe
was.
and I was
Yeah, it was. It just wasn't TikTok, right? It's more YouTube stuff. Cause I mean, I followed New Rock Stars. New Rock Stars is the ones that put me on to a lot of stuff, right? As far as like, you know, in real time when season 7 and 8 was popping off on, Facebook or whatever like that, people was posting the coffee cup that was in the background, like, all of that stuff. So
I did see that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did
Like
see that,
people was
bro.
constantly, you had to watch it pretty quick, or people was gonna spoil the Game of Thrones. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
popping off.
That's true. That's true. Now I thought, listen, but Game of Thrones, I mean the dragons, it's there for me. Like I said, they have no miss. I'm gonna tell you this. The one that I don't know that I the dude who uh the dude who was trying to get away from the dragon, and it's kind of very similarly how the dragon chose him, the younger of the dudes.
Adam,
For some reason, yeah, he looks like a a Harry Potter actor, or should be on uh
you talking about the black dude?
Lord of the Rings. Nah, 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 nah. The one who
Wait, wait, wait. You
the
talking
dude
about
who
toward the end? Toward
toward
the
the
end,
end.
and he was laying down and closed his eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's cool? What I actually liked about him? I don't know his name, but so you got to go back when they were in a bar, right? And he was
Yeah.
sitting there. He was like, "Yo, I'm cousins to the Targaryens," and they was like, "Bro, you stop lying." He's like, "No, I'm serious. Like, I'm a cousin to the Targaryens. This is my cousin. That person's my cousin. Whoop to whoop to whoop." And then Aegon walks in, and then he was the first one to stand up, be like, "Hail to the king" or whatever like that. That's him. So at the end, when he's like, "I told y'all I was Targaryen," like that, just that's who that dude is.
Here's the thing, I think that this is the part that I think that is interesting though, right? Because I think the son brought up this dynamic that, all right, now you got all of these people who are perceived to be commoners that are just dragon riders now though, right? Does it take away from the whole lure of and the grandeur of it being, oh, they're dragon riders, because you think the dragons are the gods and they are people who are of that ilk. So it's like to just say you got some common folks on there. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's one of the things he said, but he's also looking at it like, I now my claim, or my me being a dragon rider seems kind of tainted though, bro. It's kind of weird.
No, must so the chick that Damon used to smash, right? That she's now like on the council for Rhaenyra, right?
Yeah,
She told her, she said, let me, she said, listen, you are concerned about the wrong thing. Two things. Number one, the dragon selects his rider. It ain't like you can just be like, well, I'm born of Targaryen descent, and then boom, I get a dragon. Like, yeah, that's cool and all, but we're in war, right? She said, so your brothers are out to kill you right now. So you worried about what the public is gonna think versus finding somebody that the dragons is actually gonna take to. So the dragon is the
right.
one that selects the rider. So they tried. You see how old boy got roasted last week when she tried to select somebody. And even with this, I mean, we had to get a massacre of people. We had a whole barbecue roast just to get to these two. So it's not like that. Yeah, I get what he's saying. It's like, yeah, we might have opened up the doors, but at the same time, we are at war. And so you got your whole family on House Green that's ready to slay you in a moment's notice. And you worried
Yeah,
about we now you got four people riding dragons. You got Adam, the black dude with the dreads, right? You
yeah,
got you
yeah,
got the dad whose baby is dying because they ain't got no food. You got the dude who's the cousin of the Targaryens. You got Damon's daughter that's got one. Damon got one, but he ain't even been there. And then you got Rhaenyra.
yeah.
So you got at least got five, and all you got over there is one. Even
Well,
though,
say
even
put
though,
it in reverse, Terry.
yeah, even though he got the biggest dragon, though, he sure did pull up quick though. He was like, nah.
Well, yeah, he was like, "Nah, we ain't built for this one." And listen, it was one thing when he had the numbers on Ray Nice. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? This 2-on-1 I can do." But nah, I ain't running that fade though. It's dope, man. I absolutely love it. I still, and let me tell you how I knew it was dope. I knew it was dope because Neek doesn't watch it at all, and she's tried to watch Game of Thrones before,
Mhm.
so she's actually sitting here watching it, and she is like locked in. Like I could tell she is all the way locked in. I was like, "Yo, you see this now? We can go ahead and run it back from the top. You ain't got to necessarily even see this. You ain't got to see Game of Thrones to even watch this, though, right?
Yeah.
Necessarily." And so, yeah, she was just like, nah, maybe. So,
Let me ask you this.
but no.
So like I told you, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, so of course it's pretty fresh for me. Who is the worst character to you in Game of Thrones?
The worst is in that mind. I don't think that I'm at. So I'm gonna. You know me in names, right? I'm terrible on the
Okay.
names.
So here's the
Okay.
people you and I have talked about in the past. Let me get them out, and then you can. Okay, you got
I,
Littlefinger.
I I already know who. I can tell you exactly who I think it is.
Who?
I think that the worst is probably I think it's Ramsey Bolton.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's probably the one. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I think that he's the one. I think that because he's who Jon Snow fought in the Battle of the Bastards, right?
Right. He's
Yes, he's
also
the
the one
one that
that
I think
he cut out. He renamed Reek. He didn't cut
renamed
off.
Reed. He's
Yeah.
probably
He done
yeah.
he done besmirched the name of Sansa.
Cut the boy balls off.
Yep, that's Reek. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh he done, like I said, he done besmirched Sansa. He also killed his daddy. He killed his daddy's wife. He killed his brother.
yeah,
Uh he killed one of his confidants. Yeah. That boy,
yeah.
I was
He's
gonna
probably
say,
number one.
yeah, I was gonna say Joffrey, but I think the reason why I would give it to uh him over Joffrey is because Joffrey was, even though he was terrible, he's a kid.
Facts.
And so because we watched, I remember hating what's my boy, one arm, Kingslayer.
Yeah,
I remember hating him, but he had a nice little arc. You know what I'm saying? Same with Reek. I hated him, but he had a nice little arc. Everybody's had that chance to kind of turn around. Littlefinger didn't change, but wasn't like, Littlefinger was slimy, but he wasn't just like that. People just kind of feared him because of the power he had. Uh
let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I think that Littlefinger. The thing that got me. The reason why I wouldn't put Littlefinger up there that high to me, as far as hate, I hated him by the way, but I think that to me, I understood that he wasn't from the houses like they are, and he wasn't from this nobility like they were, this high lineage or whatever. So for him, I thought that he was doing what he had to do, right?
yeah,
And so I that part, and he was literally playing the Game of Thrones, right?
he
I think
was.
that that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't bother me as much. He reminds me of Otto in this series. Otto is the granddaddy. He was the hand of the, like, he's making these deals, but just to kind of do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So Littlefinger is up there, but he ain't like up there because I mean, even when he dealt Sansa off, it wasn't like, I don't think he really knew that what's his name was going to, get at her like he did. You know what I'm saying? Like when she stood there and was like, "No, tell me, I'm gonna tell you what he did. Guess, keep guessing what he did to me." Like making him sit there through it. So, but yeah, Joffrey was on some next level torture stuff. But Ramsey though, he definitely is number one because he died at the peak. There was no arc for him. He was just, we knew him in that, and he just stayed in that.
Yeah, I'm not. And then, by the way, I'm not mad at it. Now, what I do think is funny is that he's in that new series on Peacock, where it's basically around like the gladiator kind of feel and everything like that. He's one of the main guys in that, and it's weird because I've just now started to not see him as Ramsey Bolton. He talks the same. he just has this general similar vernacular, so you kind of know it's a little bit of him. But I think that it's good too, though, man. It's so far. I'm probably like 5 episodes in, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I got to check it out.
Yeah,
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 I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
finish. I gotta finish Karate Kid too, man. I done kind of slacked off on it, and I need to get back on it. I mean, Cobra Kai. I'm gonna have to get back on it.
Let me tell you what I think that I started watching last night that is pretty interesting is Supercell. It's
Yeah, I
on
started it.
Netflix.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
it's got Lamar in there.
this is the yeah, yeah, yeah. This is another thing that I think is interesting. I had to kind of explain something to Neat. So, you think in America, right? Like if this was in America, I think if this same thing is in America, half the cast is gunned down by 3 episodes, 2 episodes, because I had to explain to her that in the UK, handguns are basically they're banned, right? So because handguns are banned, I said, you see everybody walking around with knives out there, right? And even now, they always talk about in UK and in England, London, a lot of the cases when they're crimes are all done with knives, which to be quite honest with you, said knives are way more intimate, right? You got to be really up on somebody to go ahead. So I think that so that's one of the things that I think is interesting though, bro. But I think it's funny because they're doing this out of UK though, bro. And I still just feel like, bro, like I feel like their English is so proper that it doesn't feel threatened. Like I know that they're supposed to be doing some real grimy stuff and they're
Right.
talking real tough. But listen to how proper their English is, bro. And I'm just feel like, nah, it just wouldn't scare me like that though, bro.
No, no, I get that. I think I'm on like episode 2 or 3. I haven't picked back up on it. It was one of those in betweens. I started watching it, but then all my good shows picked up. Like I told you, I'm real heavy on Mayor of Kingstown.
I,
Uh,
I I started watching that. I saw the first 2 episodes and stopped for some reason, but I loved it when I did see it.
and listen, that is I'm on see it's season 3 right now, and I think we got one more episode left for the season, and yeah, that's my joint. I ain't caught up on Tyreek. Uh so yeah, I still got that to go back to. So yeah, I mean, I'll be trying to space it out a little bit because we're in the season of good shows. Like The Boys finished, right? So
Yeah.
I gotta stretch them on out a little bit because of the fact that we in that good season of shows. And so, we finished The Bear finally too. Uh, that just finished up. Sarah was so mad at how that ended too. So yeah, The Bear is my joint though.
And, I'm probably like 4 episodes, 5 episodes into the Bear. I think I got probably four shows that I'm probably at least 4 to 5 episodes in, though, man.
Right. Yeah. You caught up on the Olympics?
So yes. So here's what I think is interesting, though, bro. So I think that the funny thing, I put this post on Facebook, and I think it's funny because apparently I'm not the only one that feels the same way. But when the Olympics come around, I guess maybe I've always been a big fan of the Olympics
Yeah.
from the very jump. Of course, I think the Dream Team Olympics made me even more excited about it. But I think that even going back to like the I think it was it was a Dream Team Olympics was the first one that I was following them, but everything else, right? Because it was like the games would come on at these odd times because they were in Barcelona, and
Hmm.
so there were all these other events, but it was also like I always had this interest in track and field and everything and the events behind it. And so I've always watched a lot of Olympics. But when it come on, I feel like I'm an expert judge though, bro, especially on the diving and get
Hmm.
on
Oh
the
yeah.
high dive. And I'll be like, yo, you got too much, he got too much splash on there. He came out of his tuck too early. Or da da da. It's like little things. It will be one of those things. It was like, listen, Negro, you ain't never did no platform dive. Nothing. It's one of the things that I laugh at. That when you think people, when you judge somebody, you literally are judging somebody off for something you can absolutely never do in your lifetime, though, bro.
Yeah, because I was watching the synchronized stuff, the synchronized diving yesterday. And the same
Yeah,
thing, I was like, nah, dude's legs was bent like this too
it
much.
was there.
Like his
He
other
came
dude
out
legs was
before
like
that. Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah. Or he came out of this before old dude did, so now they ain't synced up. It's little stuff like that, dude, man. And I think that, like I said, I was man, we were watching. I was watching rugby, and I saw this dude from like New Zealand or something like that, though, bro. He ends up he's running with the ball, right? And they're getting close to catching it, right? So he goes and punts the ball about 30, 40 yards, right? And dips out. And you just see him separating from everybody else, separating from everybody else, right? So he probably, after he punts it, he was so fast, he's probably at least 10, 15 yards ahead of everybody else. And he goes and dives on the ball, scores and everything like that. And I was like, dang. And it's funny because I've never watched a rugby match ever, right? But I kind of had a general idea about what was going on. I just didn't necessarily know the rules. And they were talking. I'm like, I look at him and I said, bro, fast. And they were talking about, oh, that's like his specialty. Ain't very many people as fast as him, so he do that all the time. I said, bruh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I absolutely love the Olympics though, man. So I've been watching it. Like I said, like everybody else, man. I think that I am pretty excited because the track and field stuff starts on the first.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that aspect of it. And of course, I've been watching the basketball. So yeah.
I watched the men's gymnastics stuff, and it was like real interesting to see them get so super excited because they won bronze. And
Yeah.
but I guess it was something where we haven't won a medal in
And
quite some
some
time.
years.
Yeah,
It's been like 20 years.
yeah. And they had this one dude, right? The only thing he does is the horse, right?
The palm
Like,
horse, yeah.
yeah. So they had him posted up the whole time, just in the back, like sleep, just whatever, like just, and it was like when it was his time though, bro. I knew that he knew what he was doing because I ain't never seen nobody bring the stick out to come and like make sure the stuff is lined up exactly where he wanted it to be. Like he was doing everything. And he took them glasses off and he couldn't really
Yeah.
see.
Locked in.
Listen, bro, when he got on that little thing and he did his little flip and landed and did this, I knew he won. I ain't know how. I knew he won, but I knew that he had won. And
He knew that it was as good as that could possibly be done.
yeah, yeah, like it was good enough they was gonna medal. And yeah, they had some dude from China who was like filling in for somebody else, and he fell off like the rings twice. And they was like, bro, you in the Olympics. He's like, you fell off once, but twice. They was like, yeah, that's why you wasn't on the team originally. Like you was filling in for
Yeah.
somebody that got hurt. I
Yeah.
was like, dang. But I see the girls won gold again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So now
I think the one thing that's always interesting to me about the girls is that the girls for the last couple of years have been so good that it's almost like strength in numbers. Because while Simone Biles is up there, there's a girl who's like the second best is also on the U.S. team. So they're all kind of finalists for a lot of some of the same events. So it's almost like well, you got a scenario where you might got two people who are candidates for medals and everything like that, though, man. So yeah, it's pretty dope. I think that what I did find to be interesting though, man, is that they were talking about when the women's basketball team played against China, and
Mhm.
China's tallest person on their team was 6'1", right? And they were just talking about how, yeah, you got Asia Wilson out there, you got Brittany out there, and Brittany 6'9" out there just giving them all the buckets though, bro, like walking them down though, bro. So
Yeah.
I think that
Pops
is
giving
funny.
them buckets, huh?
Pops was out there giving them the buckets, boy. Pops was getting it though, man.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my gosh, bro!
They said
It
they
was
what the
hilarious.
women's team ain't lost a game since what
They ain't lost a
2016
game.
or
No, they
1996.
ain't lost a game in like nothing. Hell, they might go back to like they got like a 50 something game win streak,
Okay.
56 straight wins though. So yeah, I don't think, and that's something that like I remember, and that's just, and not just in the Olympics. That's with international play. That's FIBA games also.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that I remember last year they wound up having to go into overtime to beat a team. And so that's why I think that that's why they were just like, all right, we ain't playing that round. We constructing this team because we trying to go ahead and wash everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I do think that it is interesting though, man, that people are seeing this team from South Sudan go. And South Sudan has been out there whipping tail also. I think they beat Italy. And I think that now, because you got to think though, when people think South Sudan and you see all these real dark African dudes out there and everything, and you think, oh, okay. And they listen, it's gonna sound, I don't want to seem like a colorist kind of comment, but they look African. Like I think that when the world thinks of like African, they seem to fit the description of it, right? And I think that while their country hasn't been around but 13 years, I do think that it shows the talent that's actually on the team and how they're constructed. Because while they don't necessarily have an indoor facility because they are a new country and they're still building infrastructure and all that other stuff, it doesn't negate the fact that they have NBA players on their team. I mean, they
right.
got Roy Ivy from Texas as their coach,
And
right? So I mean,
they got Luau Deng, Ding
Luau
is
Dane put that Luau Dane put their team together and sponsor and everything. And listen, I understand that while they don't necessarily have indoor facilities in South Sudan, but a lot of these guys that are on their team, they're refugees. So they didn't grow up in that. Currently, that's the state. But these guys are hoopers. That their home country is that though, man. So I think that that's pretty fascinating. I think that people are not writing that part off, but I think that it's just when you think about when you say, oh, the country's only 13 years old and they push the US, it's like, well, listen, man, a team full of NBA guys should always have a chance, though, bro.
yeah. And I see that Agent Zero had to walk back some comments that he was
Yeah,
making. I you know, I understand. This is the thing, bro. I posted something on Facebook where I was just like, bro, y'all just really the stuff that y'all be letting the internet make y'all mad about is just wild to me, right? Because if you watch the podcast, right, you can clearly see this was just unjust. Him just, like just making jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I get it. It is a podcast and people just clip that out. And so all you hear is just that. But I'm just saying that it was just wild because there's two big topics in the Olympics. You got Snoop being a big topic, and then you obviously got the whole narrative about the Last Supper reenactment. And I was just like, what was your thoughts on that, bro?
listen, I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Okay, so there was this thing on there's this clip that was floating around um about on Family Feud. It was a couple of white families, and they were talking about the greatest rappers of all time. They did a survey, like everything. They did a survey of 100 people, asked who are the greatest rappers of all time, and people were going through. They were naming all these people: Pop, Biggie, blah 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 blah. And then when they got to the final one, everybody was like, "Who was the last name?" And nobody, I think nobody would have guessed that it was Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
And I've always maintained that Snoop Dogg is by far the most popular rapper of all time. And I've
right.
always said that because you got people who are great grandparents who know who Snoop Dogg is. And then you got people who are this new generation who at least can identify Snoop Dogg in a picture, right? So I think that the one thing that I can appreciate about Snoop Dogg, bro, is I think that Snoop Dogg literally is as American pie. Like if you really think about Snoop Dogg and you talk about the American dream, you would be hard pressed to find a better story than Snoop Dogg. And so I think that some people feel some kind of way about Snoop Dogg and the fact that he's always associated with smoking weed. He's associated with, his gang background. He's associated with blah, 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 blah. And then it's like people's issue with that is that, well, you mean that's the representation of this country and everything like that. And then it's like, well, that's fine that you want to pick those things, right? Because he's imperfect, and most people are. But there are a lot of good things that Snoop Dogg has done, and so it's like not to say that one outweighs the other, but I think that when people have their issue with that, if you have an issue with Snoop Dogg, bro, then you got an issue with anything. I like seeing Snoop Dogg. Now I'm gonna be completely honest. I did have a little problem with the whole Last Supper thing, right? And not that I had a problem with it where I'm like, oh, that's it. I ain't supporting this, whatever, whatever. I just was kind of like, really, was that necessary? Like,
That
really?
part, that's what I'm saying though. But the outrage that I saw on Facebook about it, bro, I'm just like, listen, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it, right? But dog, it you could just move on. That's all I'm saying. Like some stuff is just not like the biggest thing ever, right? Like that was all that was on my timeline. And I'm just like, okay, you have your opinion about it. Just like me. When I saw it, I just kept scrolling. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, okay, I get it. But it's the outrage of the stuff that just be like, bro, y'all just be letting stuff just be real, just getting you. And I'm just
I'll
like,
be honest with you. That one is one. Here's where I wasn't outraged, right? But I think that while somebody could be outraged, I think the reason why you could be outraged on this one, and not that I'm on their side. I think that when you watch them kind of slide these things in front of everybody, and you are making a noticeable attempt to normalize certain things. And when people say, oh, there's this agenda, that furthers that conversation. And I agree, it's not the biggest thing going on in the world, but I think that I can understand why somebody would be frustrated at that.
but here's the thing. I think like the part that I don't have an issue with because from what the perspective of was, according to the one who presented that, the point was inclusion. The part that I think, meaning that there's all different colors of people up here and all different sexualities or whatever like that. So inclusion was the message. The part where they went too far was then trying to incorporate the Last Supper because now you made it religious. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I understand that point. I'm not even upset that people were upset about it. I just think the amount of outrage about it on my timeline was just interesting to me. Like I said, I don't have an issue with people feeling the way that they want to feel or even expressing the way they want to feel because that is your Facebook page. I don't control what you post. You don't control what I post. And if I don't like something that you post, I just scroll past it. I just thought it was interesting the amount of outrage that I saw. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get that though, man. I'm not listen. I wasn't outraged, but on that particular thing, I wasn't that mad about somebody who would be outraged. Like I don't think that they were being extra. I think that it was something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
but
was something.
it's not just that though. It's a number of things that I've seen. Like when I'm just like, bro, y'all really letting this get y'all like this is the one today that just stopped everything for you. That's
What's another one? What's another one that you thought people blew out of proportion?
sh- got me too much on the spot. I can't even think of it right off the bat. What is something that you've seen that was just like I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, no, because that one I didn't have an issue with. Uh, it's politics season, so of course you always gonna see
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
That don't really
Oh,
bother me either.
the boy trying to pew pew 45 did it for me. That right there, I thought I like it. I'm talking about when I looked at that though, bro. It looked so unreal that I was just like, no, no. I
But
still, it
you
still
thought
is.
people blew that out of proportion?
Oh yeah, I think so, bro. I think so. I thought that it was one of the biggest strategic attention grabs that I have seen in a long time, though, bro. It looks so staged. And again, Hollywood has tainted maybe my perspective of reality because I've seen this before in movies, though, bro. So no, I thought that would if you had to talk about something recently, yeah, that would be one of them, though, bro.
Yeah, but I can understand. See, we definitely splitting hairs because for me, an assassination attempt in 2024 is wild to me. Like,
It is very wild. That's why. That's why it seems unreal to me.
yeah, I mean that's, but I can understand the conversation for everybody because, like you said, you think it was staged, whereas other people think like it's an indictment on the country. You know what I'm saying? It's all about who you follow, right? Because had something like that happened to Obama, bro, it'd be an uproar. It'd be an outrage.
Listen here, bro. If something like that happened to Obama, I'm ready to try to enlist in the military, bro.
See what I'm saying?
I
That's what
got
I'm
his
talking about.
back. And yo, listen, and that's where, see, that's what I meant by when we were talking about this on the last pod. Because to some people, Trump is their Barack Obama for me, right? Like to me, I'm gonna defend him every single chance. I'm gonna defend him the same way I defend Beyonce, right? I'm gonna go hard like I'm about to meet up with them for Christmas dinner, bro. And to some people, 45 is their guy, and I get it, right? But listen, you fire something off at 45, and I find out who it is, I'm standing at your doorstep personally.
Not 45, 44, bro.
No, I'm talking about you fire something off at Barack Hussein Obama,
Yeah.
and we find out all the public information about you. I'm walking to your mama doorstep asking her who you raised out here. That's my guy.
Yeah, but that's
Get
what I'm
out my
saying.
face with this.
So a lot of people out here, this is they got. So that's why I'm saying it's like, it's a selective outrage for a bunch of stuff. Though I wish I could find something else more like,
We do have selective outrage. I'm not gonna lie. We do have. I listen. I think though. I mean, to be completely honest though, man, I'm gonna go ahead and I can take the blanket approach and say that here recently, man, over the last, I'm willing to say 10 years, bro. Selective outrage has been very associated with black culture, bro. I think that black people are very selective over the things that they're really outraged over. And I don't know that it's necessarily something that they are conscious of because it's like there's so many things that you can say, well, dang, if you outraged about this, then why aren't you outraged about that thing over there? And not to say that one's any worse or better, but it's just like, how did you select this thing to be outraged?
yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's whatever uh touches you at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think there was enough attention on Sonia Massey. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that kind of came and went. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely had more attention on 45 than we did on her. You know what I'm saying? Like uh so that's, yeah, selective outrage is just, man.
I think that so. This is the thing about it. I think that the reason why somebody could be selectively outraged is because it would be very exhaustive to be outraged about everything equally. If you give everything that deserves outrage the same kind of energy, bro, you would be exhausted.
But I think that's the thing, right? I think if more attention was on Sonia Massey versus the Olympic uh Last Supper, I think that would have been better energy spent because it's like, for one, this has already happened, and the only people are hurt is people's feelings. But you got a whole person that's gone because of somebody's abuse of power. I think that's where I think the energy should have been spent.
Yeah,
That
no, that's
that's
real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that though.
What else we got, bro?
So we talked about the Olympics. We talked about down look, totally random thing.
What's
Totally
up?
random thing. I had to laugh at myself today. Now, so I finally broke down and bought a man bag, bro.
What you've been having issues with it?
Listen, I thought that it was one of the most wussified things ever, bro.
Oh God.
No, I thought that it was one of the most wussified things ever, though, bro. I thought that it was just like, so I thought that, so this is my thing about it. So some of these guys are carrying whole purses
Yeah,
and they're
I ain't
trying to
with that.
disguise it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to disguise it under the man bag, right? A shoulder bag, a throw over though, bro. And that was probably my thing about it because I remember, when we were growing up, we had fanny packs and everything like that, and there was an era in the '80s where that was straight. And not just that, Nick's uncle, he was in Europe very heavily, right? So that was their thing for some years, having a little man bag, always associated with it, right? And he's always had one. Like he had one before it was like a trendy thing,
Yeah.
and then he just would always make updates to his man bag, though, right?
My dad
So I
had one
saw
too.
him out, huh?
My dad had one too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if you grew up in Germany at some point or in Europe, you had a man bag, right? So get this. He was out here and we moving around and everything. And he had he pulled out he had a leather man bag, right? And I was just like, dang, boy, I said, you slinging around them He's slinging around that man bag still though, bro. He said, "Hey man, listen." He said, "Listen, man, this thing it's convenient, bro." He said, "Listen, I got my wallet in here, I got my sunglasses in here, I got my phone in here, I got all these things that are in here, that whatever." And he said, and the big thing is that I don't like to sit on the wallet when I'm driving. I know exactly where it is. He was like, so yeah. He said, when I got like little small things, it's cool to just slide on in there and everything. Boom. And he's always had one. Like I'm talking, I can go back and find pictures of him from when I 20 years ago, and he probably has a man bag, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So peep this. I'm out at the store, and I have been seeing these pop up on TikTok, right? To something was telling me to get on TikTok be reading my mind. So I had like 3 different man bags in my cart on TikTok, right? So then I go to the store the other day, and while I'm in the store, uh, randomly, very random. I'm in TJ Maxx of all places, and TJ Maxx, in their backpack section and everything like that, bro. They had one man bag, one right in the whole entire men's area, travel area, and everything like that. And I said something is telling me that this is the one I need to get because it was for the same price as the one that I was gonna go ahead and get for on my TikTok card. So, bro, I went ahead and I put it. I'm walking around the store with the bag on because I'm trying to see, throwing it on my shoulder and everything. I'm walking around. I'm trying to get comfortable with the idea of actually having it. Now, this is the one thing that's cool is this bag at the universal strap. It can go on the left or the right side or whatever. It's right. So I go and I bring something to Neek, and I have the man bag over my shoulder just to see what she's gonna say. She sees it and she busts out laughing, though, bro. Busts out laughing. But I bought it, right? What's funny about it at the time, I had like probably like a bunch of stuff on me. I had 2 phones on me, had my sunglasses, I had my wallet, and everything that Nick's aunt was lining up, telling me at the time. I had all of it though, bro. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get it though. So while I'm taking out the little stuff and I'm putting it in, Nick's is over here like, yeah, go ahead and put your little purse, put the stuff in your purse. But I had it for 2 days though, man. Game changer for me though, because when I went to my dentist appointment today, I had all my stuff packed in it though, bro, and I felt like my pockets were just so much more free from bulges and everything like that I would have. I said, "Oh man,
Can
I'm
tell you
always
nothing.
setting out."
Oh yeah,
Couldn't
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me nothing. Yeah, I keep it by the door now though, man. So I grab it, load it up, and slide now, bro.
Now, see, I think I got like 4 fanny packs or whatever like that, but it's like the big joints. So it's got the
Yeah,
different pockets and stuff in it. And yeah, yeah. So and they the Nike joints too. So Yeah, me and dudes though, we be on it with the little fanny packs and the bags, bro.
This particular fanny pack has a slide piece in the back, so I can, if I need to put my pistol in there, I can
100%.
put the little joint. Yeah, I can put
Yeah,
the little joint in there, though, man. I was like,
yeah.
yo,
Yep, yep.
yeah.
I
So
got I got I
that's
got
what
it
made,
exactly for that too, bro.
yeah,
Everything. Yeah, I
yeah,
understand. I
yeah.
understand. Because
So
especially, man, uh I go out to the gym late because I kind of wait until the fam is settled and good. That's my time to, what I'm saying, to do
facts.
to do my thing. So, I gotta start remembering that. I thought about that the other night as I was walking out the gym, like I'm lacking right now.
Yeah,
So
like, yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Get caught lacking, bro. Now
yeah.
I listen, I usually, so that be my thing. So like I keep mine in the car, right? I keep, this is funny. I keep one on me, but usually when I'm like out and about, you know what I'm saying, I might have it in the car. I might keep it in my bag, my big gym bag, just in case or whatever, depending on where I'm at. And I was just like, okay, so now when I'm out and about, I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. I said I can keep the little in there. And I said, oh my God, I'm sold on it now though, bro. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm in. I'm all the way in. I was late to the game. I was late to the party, but I'm here now though, boy.
you like it for yourself, huh?
Yeah, 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 man. No, I rock with it though, man. What you got going on for the week though?
For me, all I got is getting ready for this weekend, which is for a whole bunch of chilling. Bro, I got to get to the point where I'm still trying to find this balance of stuff where it's like I want to record, I want to go to the gym, hang out with the fam. The only thing I haven't been able to sneak back in there, bro, is the doggone is the college game day 2025. Like I'm trying to get back on that, bro. Like
Mm.
most people have been playing that, and that's been the thing for me is I have not had an opportunity to play it outside the two times that I played it. So I want to slide that back in there. But the kids is getting ready for school, so trying to help Sarah get all this stuff together. That's really pretty much it for this week. Is just we still just figuring stuff out.
Yo, so you know what's funny though, man, is that I have been I think this week I'm back in the studio. I went in today and I re-recorded some songs that and I've been trying to get some different update my mixing skills. So I've been focusing more on the mixing part and just kind of looking into more of the technical side of mixing. Like a lot of times, man, I think that you and I base a lot of our mixes off of feel, and it isn't about the frequencies, right? And so I've been trying to tap into that a little bit more, though, man. So I wanted to go through and maybe at first, when you hear something, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is kind of cool. This is real dope." But I probably could have did it better. So I went through a bit of re-recording. And let me tell you this: the other thing too, I've been in the lab and been back working on production because listen, I've been listening to, oddly enough, I've been listening to some new music. I've done and back to back. And let me tell you what I think is funny, bro. I listened to the DJ Mustard
I did too.
album. Fire, fire, fire. And what's funny about it is this. You always hear people talk about, DJ Mustard got that he had that signature sound. I like that he's expanded on his signature where you can still tell it's some mustard beat, but he stays in that bag, that tempo that I think is a real cool. It's a real cool bop though, bro. I love that. It's not like that they not like us beat, but it's around that tempo. So that to me was fire. I finally listened to the Megan, and I think that it's fire as well, though, bro. I think that it's the one thing I think that is interesting though, bro. I think it's official, man. That I don't think I'll ever be able to get into Ice Spice, bro.
You're not the only person who I think Joe Budden and them reviewed her project and weren't very impressed with it. Do you
Nah,
think she's
can't
just a
get
better
into it.
feature artist or something?
Do I think what?
She's a better feature artist.
No, 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 no. So this is what I think. So, and this is no knock to her. I think that like with and her and like Sexy Red, right? I think that when I hear them, I don't hear them trying to be an MC. It feels like they're rapping for the hustle, and that's respectable. If somebody's going to pay you to just say something and put it out, by all means, go ahead and do it or whatever, though, right?
Right.
But when I hear her, right, I don't hear the dedication to skill, musicianship, like stuff that matters to me. And this is the flip side to that is this, though, right?
Hmm.
Like um when I hear like Glow and Megan, to me they're the standard right now for women rappers, right? And so when I hear them, I can tell based off of their delivery that that matters to me. That getting it out a certain way matters. It wouldn't surprise me, bro, that that they went in and just punchlined everything in one take, and that's it. And they just were like, it just nothing about it seems real. And then I think that the part that gets me the most is like I think that don't get me wrong, I think Ice Spice, pretty girl, I think that she is riding the look for as long as she's going to. And it might be that 15 minutes, not to say her 15 minutes of fame is going to be up soon. I think that she's going to continue to just ride her looks. And my thing is that at some point, the rapping is going to have to matter. It's going to have to hold some weight because you won't be able to. You're not going. This is something like you're not going to just be able to rap and then leave your rap and start twerking and that's it. Like Megan, it always comes back to the rapping, bro. And I don't think that that's the case when I listen to it.
Yeah, but I think that she is somebody's cup of tea though. I mean, it's the same for like Sexy Red. Like I don't know that the rapping has to improve. Is what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't know that it has to.
That's fair to say. This is my thing. Maybe it's just if you want a fan like me, the twerking isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to you
Yeah,
still
but
like
what I'm
for
saying is
me.
you what I'm saying is there is still a pocket for it because you have so like if you have spots where you can get the rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always gonna have people that like Cardi. You're always gonna have people that like Rhapsody. You always gonna have people that like Megan the Stallion. Like because Megan the Stallion has been in that same bag since she's been out, and it's
She's
working.
staying that bad. It is
Right.
working. But here's my thing about it. But she can. But this is my thing about it. She can stay in that bag because Megan be rapping, bro.
She
And
do be
that's my
rapping,
thing.
but
It's
it's
like,
rapping the same thing though. It's the what I'm saying
but
is
yeah, I get what you mean. Her content doesn't change. I get that. If you got a bag of say, no, these are the topics that I talk about, if you're able to do that 50 different ways to talk about the same one thing, that's fine. But I think that I would like to think that Megan is a skilled rapper, just rapper. If you put her next to a guy, she can rap with
no,
dudes,
no, no.
right?
I understand. I totally understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the same way you're defending her, saying that she's rapping and doing this and she can go this that. There are some people that because she only raps about this one thing, like all the time, that's the only thing she's got. They're saying the same thing, like how you're saying that iSpice needs to expand. That's what they're thinking that Megan should
I
do.
listen.
That's
I don't. This is my thing. Okay, this is what it is for me. If I just don't like the sound of your rap voice, it doesn't matter what you're gonna say, right? So
100%.
I think that I don't like her rap voice, and I
But there are
don't
so
like
many people that do.
Sexy Red, and yeah, and I get it, but I think that to me, if you don't ever improve on the rapping, right, then to me that's how you become very replaceable, right?
But then
And
you
I
just
think that,
say,
that
but then you just say it doesn't matter what she's rapping about if her
it
voice.
doesn't matter what she rap. I don't if I don't, but this is my thing. Like to me, this is what I look at. So to me, I think that her lyrics, and not to say she has to be. I'm not looking at her to get it to talk about molecular science, but I think that her rapping is her content is very basic at that. And I think that that's fine. Like, I don't think that has to be like, you don't have to be common rapping, right? I just think that to me, for what she does, I just think that that's something that could be replaced in a very quick wave.
I get it, but like I said, I just think she's not for you, is what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm
Like,
getting.
like Megan's been like, even if you say Megan's been doing the same thing, right? Megan's been doing the same thing for a better part of the last 5 years. Even if you say she's rap, she's been and listen, and as she's been doing these songs, those kind of songs have been getting better and better and better, where her hit making ability is expanding. And I think that this, and here's the thing about it: if we keep it at a stat, we might need to start having the conversation to say, has Cardi B plateaued, and has she already peaked and gone?
We've already had that conversation though. We don't need to
No,
rehash
so
that.
we might need to we might need to revisit that, because here's my thing about it. She has to put out the music, but I'm just still wondering if her popularity that has plateaued, and the next inevitable thing is going to be the decline. Right. So I don't know, man, but I did at least listen to Ice Spice, or tried to listen to it. And that's when I was just like, nah, it's not for me.
I'm gonna get you
Uh
out of here on this. You said you listened to the DJ Mustard. Did you listen to the Zaytoven?
no,
Okay.
no, I didn't listen to the Zay. I listened to the Mustard, and like I said, I listened to the Mustard enough to where I ran it back. I'm gonna tell you who else I listened to real quick. Uh, uh, I listened to the Schoolboy Q album. Very impressed with the quality of the Schoolboy Q. And when I say that, I think that it's a very well produced album. It's a very well produced album, where I think that his rapping matches the beats so well on it, though. So that's one that I did. And I'm gonna tell you though, man, I was very surprised though, man, that Tory Lanez had put out a little clip that was like a little release that said, "Hey, my producer's been able to figure out how we could put music out from jail." So he has a project that the first one that he's put out since he's been in jail. Though, man, I'm actually gonna check it out though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still with Megan, but I'm gonna check it out.
That's what's up. Well, look, man, we appreciate y'all for joining us from ATL all the way to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers, and we will see you all on the next one.
It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?